The horse sense leads us. Number 2 from Steve King on the topic of President Obama's birth.
But in any case, it would have been awfully hard to fraudulently file the birth notice of Barack Obama being born in Hawaii and get that into our public libraries in that microfiche that they keep of all the newspapers published. That doesn't mean that there aren't some other explanations on how they might have announced that by telegram from Kenya. The list goes on.
So this white woman from Kansas decides she wants her son to be president someday. The son doesn't exist yet. So she meets this guy from Kenya, and she plans to have the birth announced in the hospitals and the newspapers out in Honolulu where she lives. But she gets on an airplane, spends the money to go to Kenya so that she can have the baby there, so that she can announce she had the baby in Honolulu. All the time planning for 1961 that her kid, who she will name after the father, Barack Hussein Obama,
which sounds like
the first black president, the first African-American president of any kind of sort. And she'll do all this by, let's get to Jonathan on this. I mean, this really takes strategic planning on the part of this woman. I mean, this is a hell of a shot. This is a long ball.
No, please, it's completely insane, and it feeds into the birther notion, which we all knew was ridiculous. We all thought that it went away once the president released his long-form birth certificate, when the short-form birth certificate didn't prove sufficient for folks like Donald Trump. And still, there were polls that came out that showed that there was still a significant chunk of people who still believe the birther lie. And so the fact that Congressman King is, out there talking about microfiche and birth certificates and announcing an election.
But the thing about
the common thread is faith, not logic.
Yes.
It's family, not science.
Well, why do they have faith? We can't have a black American president. Why is that a matter of faith?
Well, we haven't openly or frankly discussed either race or religion.
But why would that be a matter of faith that he wasn't born here?
Because he struck people from the very beginning, both because of his name, because of his background, because of his color, in part, as somebody foreign, as somebody who wasn't quite American, as somebody who didn't belong in America. And in a world that they see where it's all either good or bad, where there is no gray, there was only faith or lack of faith.
How is that up? He's also a protege of Saul Alinsky in Chicago left-wing politics. He's also part of the old
corrupt... He has a secret plan.
He's also part of the corrupt Chicago machine.
Chris, it's a paranoid sit-down strike.
But the way to make this work really easy is with something like birtherism, because it gets to the original sin. It's a plan, there's a telegram, he's not real. Then later on he hooks up with Saul Alinsky. But it gets to the roots of the problem, is that he not just isn't like us, is a different color, thinks differently, but he really wasn't born here.
You know who has the ultimate secret plan?
Who?
Satan. Yeah. That's what this is about.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
No,
Chris, you give me that look. I'm getting worried. Anyway, now number 1 from Steve King on a topic.
That wasn't number 1.
The Republican Party struggle to appeal.